Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of January 2021. Yesterday, Monday, President Donald Trump announced a state of emergency in the capital, Washington, D.C., and his rationale for declaring a state of emergency was because there have been bloody riots attack on the Capitol Hill a few days back. Before that, the mayor of D.C., Muriel Bowser, had also declared a state of emergency. People have also been asking Mike Pence, the vice president under Trump, to exercise his right to declare uh, the president ineligible and assume the presidency in his place. There are also uh, uh, efforts in hands by Democrats to impeach Donald Trump so that he can't run the elections a second time. So my question to you, Mohammed, is that what do you think will be the future of the American presidency? Would the American presidency become very fragile in future? Does this mean the end of democracy in the United States of America? What does it portend for the United States of America and for the world at large?
I think as far as the US is concerned, it does not mean the end of democracy or the presidency because the systems over there are very solid. So it's nothing's going to crash and burn. Presidency is going to continue as it did before Donald Trump. What it does signify is that presidency is not it's not unbreakable. So the institution of presidency in the US is not sacred anymore. So anybody who doesn't agree with the president can just wake up in the morning and come and take over the capital, which is a scary thought.
So people have also been saying that they are worried that Donald Trump might attack the Islamic Republic of Iran, or he might use the nuclear button, and that Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the Senate, has actually spoken to the Chairman, Joint Chief of Staff's Committee, Mark Milley, about it, about an unhinged president and who should be prevented. So, scarier scenarios ahead.
No, not really, because he only has about a week to go until the end of his presidency. That's the first thing. The second thing is Nancy Pelosi talking to Mark Milley and Donald Trump, or the pundits saying that he might declare war on Iran, are a bit unfounded. First of all, I think Nancy Pelosi is just scaring him from taking any such action. Number two, because his Twitter has been blocked, I don't know how he can, say that he's attacking because all his pronouncements and announcements came through Twitter. If he doesn't have Twitter, he doesn't have the a soapbox per se to really stand up on and make such announcements and complain. And from what I've read is that he has gone ballistic, not because of anything else, but because he doesn't have access to Twitter, and he's looking at alternate platforms that he can use to make similar announcements. I don't think he can do he. I don't think he'll do any such action. For the first thing, for the first point, I think he does want to run again in 2024, but it's going to be very difficult. And what Nancy Pelosi is doing, and what the Democrats are saying about holding him at trial, it's going to be difficult for him to run for the president again because such allegations are against him. But I don't think there's enough time for him to do anything because everything has to go through certain checks and balances.
One of the former prime ministers of UK, Harold Wilson, once said that 1 week is a long time in international affairs. So I don't know what is going to happen and what is not going to happen, whether Donald Trump will continue with his theatrics or dramas, or whether he'll actually do something. So
No, I don't think it's going to happen because uh, his theatrics and his announcements were only possible because of Facebook and Twitter and his constant presence on those platforms. When you take them away from him, he for him to take any action, he'll have to go back to the drawing board and read papers and talk to people instead of just randomly announcing something over Twitter, he can't do that anymore. So 1 week may be a long time, but without Twitter, I don't know.
So, do you think he was a social media president and the next president is going to be more sensible? But I think if the American legislators are any wiser after this incident, they would bring in place legislations stopping the president from conducting his foreign policy through a Twitter account. Don't you think so?
I think legislations like that were already in place because the Twitter handle of the president of the US is at POTUS, POTUS. When Obama became president, he requested if he could continue on with his own handle. They didn't allow him to do that. For some reason, Trump kept using his own thing. So I think what's going to happen is they're just going to make it very, very difficult for presidents to continue using their own Twitter handle.
Thank you very much, Mohammed, for your nice inputs. And let's hope that world remains stable in this last week of Trump's troubled presidency. Thank you very much.